in the East, respectively. And they'll meet Sunday night here on NBA TV. It's Giannis versus Kawhi from north of the border. Coverage begins at 5:30, the Auto Trader pregame show. The Kawhi versus Giannis conversation has gone from who's the best player in the East to are they the front runners for MVP? Rex, if you had to choose one today, not at the end of the season, who are you voting for, Giannis or Kawhi, for league MVP?
I'm voting absolutely for Kawhi Leonard. I'm a big Kawhi guy. And look, I played against, unfortunately, Michael Jordan for a long time. And the great big hands are a great big asset. If you've got those big hands and the athleticism and the size of a guy like Kawhi Leonard, he's perfectly balanced too. Great athlete. He can finish right-handed, left-handed, and then he guards you on the other end. He really is the complete package. I'm a big Kawhi fan.
Well, if MVP is going to be decided by hand size, Giannis wins, right? I mean, it is unbelievable the length and athleticism he has. I'm going to agree with you. I would have Kawhi over Giannis in this particular situation. And speaking to who's the best player in the East, Kawhi Leonard has been the best player on a championship team already. You've got to beat the man to be the man. So if Milwaukee can get past Kawhi in a conference finals type of situation, then you can start to have a real conversation about has Giannis overtaken Kawhi. But until then, I'm going with the guy who's been the best player on the best team.
Griff could tell me anything and I would believe it. I look at him and I'm right there.
You're like, yes, you've convinced me.
It's honest.
Jedi
guys.
mind trick. Look, chemistry, every part of a winning formula, right? And for Kawhi Leonard right now, that seems to be Pascal Siakam. These two are getting together perfectly for Toronto. Why is that mix working so well?
Well, and you see some of the numbers here. Look at the offensive rating when Siakam's off the court. Now, this is Kawhi when he's on the floor with Siakam. They're at a 117 points per 100 possessions when they're together on the floor.
Wow.
And when Kawhi's on the floor without Siakam, it goes down to 103. When you look at the net rating, that's an enormous differential there. And what it really speaks to is what you said. It's the fit of these pieces. They're both incredibly long. They're very athletic. They're able to get stops and then get out in transition together. And Siakam is drawing a lot of attention from a long athlete on the perimeter. So that leaves somebody less capable of defending Kawhi quite often, or the opposite can also be true. Here you see Siakam making a play to Kawhi off the break. You see them get out and run in transition. Because Siakam has this ability to make the next pass, because he can just initiate just enough to set you up a little bit, he draws, again, so much of the defense's attention that he's then able to get Kawhi in a more advantageous position than he can find without Siakam.
Well, the clips we saw there, Siakam on a break, moving with the ball, that sort of thing. But in the post, is he going to be detrimental in the postseason? Can he defend the post? Can he play in the post and be effective in the playoffs?
Well, I really think he can. And Rex actually was in Phoenix when we had Clifford Robinson, who was as good a defender as there was on David Robinson, on Tim Duncan. And he was very similar in size, similarly long, able to do work on the post offensively here. Siakam's jump in terms of his work in the post, you see there his numbers. It's now 13.5% of his possessions, 1.15 points per possession they score off Siakam's post-ups. I believe it was like 0.8 last year in terms of effectiveness. So he's taken a big jump in his efficiency on that side. But on the defensive side, his versatility and his ability to give a big different looks is what gives him an advantage.
Props on the Cliffy reference.
Oh,
Uncle
like
Cliffy.
Rex, I know you didn't give Giannis your early season MVP, but he makes amazing plays consistently, and one from last night caught you off guard.
No doubt about it. Last night left here, and I saw on the interweb, the Twitter, I saw somebody said, watch this, Giannis Antetokounmpo from half court, one dribble. This guy is so long. He unfolds at the basket like he's got a second elbow joint. I mean, he just keeps going and keeps going. He covers so much ground. That first step is so long, and if they let him walk like he did
there,
there it is.
But here it is. This is one step from half court.
Explain. You were a high flyer yourself,
Yeah,
right? Explain how many dribbles it might have taken you as someone that could dunk from the free throw line.
Rule of thumb is when you get the ball free throw line extended on one end, you throw that ball out there, you should be able to get to the other end in 3 dribbles. Giannis had 1 dribble over half court, got into his stride perfectly, and dunked that thing. Most people would have to pull it out. He went through two players to get there. I don't know that I've seen that. Guys like Dr. J could do that. I mean, we don't. Kid in college right now might be able to do it, but this is something we haven't seen. Unbelievable. Look,
there it is.
Puts it out, one dribble, get into your steps, 1, 2, and like it's nothing. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's the part that makes it so crazy.
Yeah.
There was no strain in him there whatsoever.
And he maybe could have jumped from further out.
Okay,
well,
so
we should see. Let's check it out.
We all agree that Giannis is an amazing talent, but Bud Ball is giving opposing defenses a reason to fear the deer once again. How have they been able to improve so much in all of these categories so soon, so early in the season with Mike Budenholzer in his first year?
So I call it the Budification of Milwaukee. And the reason for that is everything that Bud was about in Atlanta, he's brought with him to Milwaukee, and it's perfect. It's a perfect fit with their talent and the players that he is opening up a little bit by moving bodies and ball more, putting guys in a more efficient place on the court. They are taking more threes than anybody else, which is amazing when you look at their talent on paper because you don't think they're a team that's going to take that many threes. But everything is either right at the rim or a three-point shot. They're getting out in transition well. Giannis and Middleton may be as good a duo as there is in the Eastern Conference, certainly in the conversation with Kawhi and Kyle Lowry. But what they've really done is John Horst brought in this guy, Brook Lopez. He's up here at the top. We've got him shadowed. And Enes Kanter has got the blue dot over him there.
So you take the big out of the paint.
He can't leave Brook. He stays in the Brook force field. And here the opposite happens. Everybody is alert to Giannis as a driver. The defense collapsed. Drummond had both feet in the paint, and Brook couldn't be any more open. What he's done by playing Brook the way he has, and John Horst's masterful stroke bringing him in, is it's very similar to what he tried to do in the beginning when he was in Atlanta with Pero Antic. Yeah. He wanted Pero to shoot threes, and Al would sort of work in the dunker area. Eventually, Al started shooting threes because it was so important to Bud to have a big pull people away from the basket. Well, what this really means is you've now got Giannis who can take one dribble from half court to dunk with a very open paint, and that creates a radically more efficient offense.
It's a great setup for Bud, except you have to live in Milwaukee.
It's a little chillier there.
Yeah, you know.
All right. No knock in Milwaukee and Toronto. It's pretty cold there too, Professor. We appreciate the lesson there.
No problem. And I will say this. Milwaukee's got 5 serve for them, and those chairs are unbelievable.
They do.
Those bench seats are incredible. Best in the league.
They really